Well, Charlie's, if you saw it today there, he's out of the red jersey. He was into a black jersey, which is the next step in his progression. Today he was able to start some initial contact with the group. Still have no timeline on his return yet, but obviously it's excited. We had him back on the road trip for a portion of the road trip, and then here today in practice, joining us in a more competitive environment.
Is it important for him to get back into the game, or?
I mean, I think if he's ready and he's cleared to play, like any player, they want to get back in there. So, yeah, I mean, you might feel good about yourself getting a couple games under your belt before the season ends. But like I said, we'll just take it one step at a time.
Is it fair to say, given the severity of the injury and where you guys are at, maybe working him back in on a little bit of a different timeline?
I think what we try to do here is obviously make sure the player's ready to go, number one, right? So when he's cleared, if he's healthy and he's cleared by our medical team, then he'll be in the lineup more likely than not. So I think it's just that's the way players are wired. I understand your question, but I think once he's cleared, he'll be ready to go.
Without Ovechkin.
I'm sorry?
Without Ovechkin coming in.
Yeah.
What are the memories that you have of him? What are those things that come to mind?
Well, working in this league for a while now and having the opportunity to oversee the penalty kill a lot of those years, some nightmares for sure. I think with him on the power play, a guy that you have to pay close attention to over the years, especially in his spot over there in the elbow. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that jumps out to me is just his consistency and the ability to still be able to produce after all these years, knowing that you put a game plan in place to try to stop that. So it says a lot, obviously, about the individual. It's an incredible, milestone that he's trying to get to here. Yeah, the ability just to adapt over all these years, because you're always looking at the players in that team and what you can do to prevent them from scoring, especially the top guys, and the great ones still find the way to get it done. So it's a credit to them and him.
How's he always open there when everybody knows that that's where it's going?
Well, unless you just sit on him, you're creating a 4-on-3 somewhere else, right? So 4-on-3s can be dangerous too, but I think you have to, if you watch him lately, he's not just sitting there anymore. Like they scored a goal yesterday, he moved to the top of the power play. He moved to the top of it. And so it creates some confusion because you're sitting over there in the elbow, you're looking for to take away him, and then all of a sudden he's at the top, he takes a one-timer, and the guy tipped it in front of the net. I thought it was his goal, but it actually got tipped. So they've found ways to get him moving around in different areas too. Sometimes he'll slide into the bumper. Sometimes he moves up top like he did yesterday. So when you're on the ice and you're looking to see where he is sometimes, for that split second, he's gone. He finds another opening, and there it is.
Knowing that you were playing them on April 1st, a few weeks back, it looked possible that was that something you were noticing, or that it was possible that you might have come here with a chance to break it here?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at, the schedule and you're seeing he's climbing up the ladder every game here. He's scoring almost every game right now. So, yeah, you keep an eye on it, and, you want him to do it somewhere else. That's for sure.
When you're in a situation like this with the team, and you've lost a few in a row here, what do you think is the proper mindset for the group going into tomorrow?
I think it's just what I've said before, Joe. I think it's about, right, like getting our mindset focused to obviously win a hockey game, number one, as a group, and how we go about doing it within the process, but also the part about, the pride and the privilege. I've talked about those two things, and I think that's huge for our guys. There's a lot of opportunity here for some of our players that have come up now, players from different teams. So there's the opportunity factor, but then there's the pride, right? The pride of being a Boston Bruin, the pride of being a good teammate, trying to obviously win hockey games, and the privilege to play in this league. Like, you can't take it for granted. You just can't. You never know in this league, how things work out, and I think those two things are real important for our guys. But we want to play a good hockey game. I thought that in Detroit. We played a pretty good hockey game for the most part, and that's what we want to see. We're looking for effort. We're looking for guys to play with pride and understand the privilege that it is to play in this league.
Joe, if that put you in an odd situation, given that you have an interim tag on your job, and that your job is to develop, but to keep a standard, and you've had injuries and so forth. Is it been an odd year for you being somewhat in audition for your future?
No, I just look at it like it's an opportunity, and you're trying to do the best job you can. Our job as a coaching staff, my job as the coach, is to prepare the players the best way we can, try to give them the necessary information to go out and have success. Obviously, there's been a lot of moving parts that have been going on this year, but just try to remain consistent with the group within our day-to-day process and how we go about our business. So I don't look behind and I don't look ahead. I just kind of try to stay in the moment and stay focused on what we're doing.
Do you feel like you are seeing that pride throughout the roster still?
I think I see guys, there's solid effort. Listen, we're going to make mistakes. We have a roster that's a little bit changed over the course of time. So, and then mistakes happen anyway, but we're going to make some mistakes. We can live with mistakes. I can live with mistakes as long as the effort's there night in and night out, right? There's always games or moments during games where you're not going to play well. It happens to the best teams too. But if we're playing with the effort that we're asking for, we have no issues.
Is McAvoy coming back and practicing kind of an example of that pride considering he could just?
I think that's a good example. Yeah, I mean, he's one of our leaders, and obviously he's trying to get back out there towards the end of the season here, and he's not just saying I'm done for the year, and so we'll see where that goes, yes.
Washington looks like the standard of how quickly a team can retool on the fly. What do you notice? Why do you think it's been so rapid in terms of how they've been able to get back to the game?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've watched them last year. They just squeaked into the playoffs. They had a significant minus in their goal differential, but they found a way to get in there last year. And then they've added some good pieces, like you said, this year to their roster. Obviously, they have a collective buy-in of what they're doing there as a group, and that's important. And and then you just look at the way they play. You know, they play hard. They're a big, heavy, strong team, and they play to their identity. They have an identity, and they stick to it. And typically, when you do that, you can have success.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive. Obviously, we all know how hard it is to score in this league, and he's been doing it for over 2 decades. And like you said, the way he found a way, every year he scores different goals, and you obviously see way less one-time goals from him. Guys taking him away, and he still finds the way. So it's impressive, and it's motivational to win, to see him keep scoring all those goals. So. It's definitely a special goal scorer, and he's gonna break it soon. So.
At what point in your life did you become aware of him? How much did you watch him?
I watch him a lot growing up, obviously, because all the national teams, right? And like I said, for the kid, it's hard to follow NHL. So I know he represents his country every time. So from early ages, you kind of knew about him, and you saw all these highlight reel goals. So he was definitely and still is a special player to follow and watch his highlights.
David, there's an unusual position for you guys right now. What has to be the mindset of these final 8 games?
Obviously effort and pride. In wearing the Bruins jersey, we obviously need to get out this losing streak. Keep working hard, getting better, and that's gonna be the mindset. Show up every day, ready to work, no matter the situation.
Is there any added motivation to sort of not let Ovi get that next goal tomorrow?
We are in the position. We obviously gonna focus on keeping the puck out of our net, and I was put in a good defensive game and make it hard on the guys on the really good team who is coming to the building and coming back from the tough trip. So big game for our group, and I'm gonna make sure we are ready.
David, how impressed by you or how supportive are you of Charlie McAvoy for what he's going through trying to come back?
Obviously, it's tough for every player to be out, and I know with Charlie, one of the leaders in this group, it's extremely tough for him. We can sense how much he wants to help, to be out there, and help our team to win. So it hurts, same with Hampus goes with him. He's having a tough year too. So missing those two guys on the back end, it obviously shows every game, and they're a big part of our group. And we miss them, and they try to keep us much positive, and so are we with them. So it's never fun. Fortunately, injuries are part of hockey, but we would definitely like to have them on the ice.
To go back to Obi, as you're watching him coming up, are there any elements of his game that you're studying in particular, or trying to work on that maybe you see him?
I always loved his physicality. Obviously he's a big guy, but big heavy guy, and for a star player like that, and being this physical for this many years, and I think earlier this year he was injured, and I read somewhere that that's like almost like first time he's been injured in so many years. So that's very impressive, and so I always loved his physicality, and when the best player like him on your team brings that, that carries a long way for your team. So that's what I admire outside of all this goals, but honestly.
David, are you able to spend any time thinking about bigger picture stuff, future, what you want this team to look like, or is it just so locked into the day-to-day right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is we're still in the season. That's definitely focusing on getting back on winning streak, and like I said, showing up and putting good games. The Detroit game was a good start to build up something, and we have 8 games left, and it's an opportunity for every one of us to show that show the pride wearing this jersey, and opportunity to guys who want to be here next year to show they can play, and it's obviously you can take a day for granted in the NHL. It's a tough league, and you have to be ready to work every day. So definitely something that you can ask me at the end of the season, but right now I'm thinking totally different things.
How difficult has it been to go through a losing streak like this for you? This is not something obviously that you're used to at all.
Yeah, I mean, definitely tough. Like I said, obviously, especially with missing Hampus and Charlie, who's been here for a while, and our leaders in the group, not having them on the trip, and I know Chucky came in the middle of the trip. So yes, obviously tough. Something new. I'm dealing with, and like I said, it's we are at this stage of the season that the playoffs is miles away for us, and we know we're not gonna win every game, but we have to start with details, putting in good games like we did pretty much in Detroit, and start build something. But so don't look too far, and start with yourself and the details, and leave everything out there for the next 8 games.
We're going one day at a time. I think that's how I'm approaching it, and how our staff is as well. Just doing every day what we can to try and improve my shoulder.
Charlie, how important or imperative is it for you with all you're going through with the team right now to be setting an example that you're doing everything you can?
Obviously, I think it's important. I think we're in a spot that we haven't been in yet. What I'm trying to do right now is just rehab the best I can, try and work every single day to put myself in a position to potentially play this year. What will happen, but to be a part of the group every day, to try and set an example, to try and get closer every day with these guys, to build relationships. That's what I'm identifying right now as really what I'm trying to accomplish.
Have you gotten to the point where a timeline has been discussed, or just not there yet?
Are you still feeling pain, or is it just about building strength?
It's about both.
Charlie, you've talked about how much leadership means to you and doing your job means to you. Is it frustrating because you haven't been able to be on the ice and with a new group of guys? Is that how difficult is it to be a leader when you're in the situation that you're in?
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think there's, a full picture to that, you're really only getting to do about half of that because you're not playing, you're not in the fight. So these guys are going through it, and you know, you're on the sidelines for it, which isn't fun. You want to, you know, you want to try and lead, but you can't do that really in the position that I'm in. But what I'm trying to do, like I said, is just work hard every day and set an example, try and build rapport with the new guys, and try and, you know, to just keep a positive mindset here of, you know, what's in front of us and trying to finish the year as best we can.
Is this an important time for shaping sort of the standards for guys that haven't been here before, for them to understand what's sort of expected of them as people, in addition to whatever else going forward into next year and down the road?
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, your question is also the answer, so you're on the money.